So we got another one here. I just came back from a test drive and customer saying this sounds like a lot of road noise. I just took it for a drive. I can't get this door open. You have to go fast enough to open this gate so the sensor will detect it. But I took it for a road test and it definitely a bad wheel bearing. It's more like a grinding than a howling noise at this point. But let me just try and get this gate open. You gotta get a good running start to get it open. Okay, I gotta get out to open the door. I think I gotta go far enough. Automatic doors, eh? It's supposed to open automatically. Nope. Okay, I gotta open the door. But I took it for a test drive, and it sounds like the right front wheel bearing is making noise. It sounds pretty bad. So put up on a hoist when I get in the shop, and then we'll confirm the wheel bearing noise. So I'll bring you back once I get the door open, so I can get in the shop. All right, we're in the shop. Coincidentally, this thing is also a red Honda Civic, like the one I did the AC condenser. But this is also it's a different car. This is also in for service as well. So I'm gonna put it up on the hoist, put it in gear. Put on the highest gear so the front wheels are spinning. It sounds like the right front is making noise from when I test driving it. Also gonna check the other ones. How I check the rears and get it to spin fast enough, I put a socket on the lug nuts, and then I just spin it as fast as I can. Usually that usually works, but I didn't have to go very fast to get the wheels, or to hear the wheel bearing noise. I think about 40 kilometers an hour, it's already like it's not howling, but it's more like a grinding noise than a howling noise at this point. But yeah, let me put this thing on the hoist, and yeah, I'll bring you back to show you how bad this wheel bearing is. I'm only going 18 kilometers an hour, and I don't know if you can hear the noise that's coming from this wheel here. I don't know how well that's going to catch on the camera microphone, but it's already pretty loud. See if I go a little faster. I think it's in third gear right now. Stick it in fourth, and it gets now I'm at 23 kilometers an hour at idle, and it's getting even louder. So bring you out to the front and hear the noise outside. I don't know how well you can hear it, but you can hear some jangling inside that bearing over here. I don't know if you can catch that, but you can definitely hear it from the bearing here. Let me put it right against or my phone right against this sway bar, so you can hear that. So yeah, also check the front, and there's no play actually, but I can hear some jangling in that bearing there. So with a screwdriver, just making sure it's not this guy here, I just touch this support bearing here for the drive shaft, and I just stick my ear to it, and yeah, that sounds okay. And then yeah, I use the screwdriver, put it up against my ear, see if I can hear it. And yeah, this one is very loud. Poor man's stethoscope. Yeah, no front play or anything, but you can kind of hear it. I'm not spinning it very fast, but you can definitely hear it already. See if I get back in. And for the rear, how I spin the rear, I just do this. I put a socket on there, and I just go to get it fast enough. But it's pretty quiet. It's not making any noise. So yeah. Downside is that this thing's going to start spinning around like that, but you can get it fast enough. Yeah, no noise in the back. All right, so I took the wheels off. You can see this car is in way better condition. The paint is really nice on this one, but you know how I said that there was no play on the wheel bearing on this side? So I had the wheels off, and I'm just looking at it. There's the old notch for the axle nut. There's the new notch. So it might have had like some play at some point, and then I guess somebody, or maybe the last place that I got it serviced from, tightened it and then re-notched it. So now, as you can see, it's super noisy now. So yeah, just so you know, if you ever have some play in the wheel bearing, don't just tighten the axle nut, because it does get louder, or way louder. All right, so bringing you back. So we did get approval on the new wheel bearing. That's the part number, and we got the part in stock. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. Lift the car up. All right, so what we're gonna do is remove all the brake parts. You know, anything that's connected to the knuckle, we're gonna have to take off. You know, like your tie rods. Let me turn on the light. Tie rods. This ABS sensor, hopefully it'll come out. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. And everything's pretty straightforward to get the 3 bolts to get the lower control arm or lower ball joint off. And then the 1 axle nut to get the drive shaft out. And that's pretty much it. All right, will I be lucky today? Ugh. Oh, sweet. It is loose. It's loose. I'm good. I should buy a lottery. Came out perfect. But this car isn't that crusty anyways. One less thing to worry about. Everything's been removed and this thing should just pop right out. Just like that. All come out, you know, off the control arm. And this is how I get the hub out. So I'm gonna find a socket that will fit right here and I'm just gonna hammer it out. Just before I pull this hub out, I don't know if you can hear that. Let me get a better angle here. You hear that? Definitely loud. And then if you look, it's got in and out movement. See if I can show you somehow. I'm gonna try and pull it in and out. I don't know how well that shows on the camera, but yeah, there's some movement there, but you can definitely hear that it's loud just by doing that. So let's get the hub out. So you can press the hub out, or I like to do this. Just make sure you don't whack your nuts while you're doing it. But yeah, I just do this to get it out. Oh shoot, I'm trying to do this with one hand. And then as you see, it starts to come out. So let me go ahead and just pop it out. So I got this on the bench. I'm gonna have to take the this race off of this hub, and I also have to get this snap ring off. What I'm gonna do for now is soak it. What I use is Rost Off, right? I don't know if it works, but it's better than nothing, right? Maybe it just gives me the feeling that it works. So soak that in for a little bit, and then I'm gonna get a little punch and trying to punch it and see if it moves. And then yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this thing off. So what I do with the hub, I cut it on an angle, right? Cut a slot in it so it gets weak, right? And then I strike it with a chisel and it cracks, and then it slides right off. All right, so I got the race off the hub. So as you can see right here, I grind a slot here, and then I hammer it with a chisel. It cracks it and it slides off. Here, to get this thing free, I get myself a punch. I stick it in the hole and I just hammer it and it comes loose. And then I should be able to. Oh, I can't do it with one hand. Here, get my assistant here. Okay. It should be loose. Yeah, there you go. So it's loose. All right, snap rings out thanks to the assistant. Yeah, we kind of needed all 4 hands to do this. So yeah, I'm gonna bring this to the press, which is over there in our tire room, and then I'm gonna press this bearing out and then press in the new bearing. All right, make sure you know which side goes onto which side. Right, there's one side for the ABS, one side's just the seal. So yeah, I'm gonna go and press it out. All right, got my thing set up. You just gotta get one that's bigger than the hole in the where you're pushing it out from, and then you just push on the inner race at the top, and that should be it. There you go. Just gotta push it right out. And there you go, it fell in. and that's all to it. All right, so here, make sure you know which side is which. So this is the seal side. That's the ABS side. So you got the magnetic strip on that side. So this one's going to be going down, right? And then when you're pushing it in, you want to push on the outer side of this bearing, not the center, because you're going to push that right through, and you're going to have to get a new one. So I'm going to set it back up on the press over there, right? And then push this in. I also cleaned up this snap ring up from all the rust and stuff. So make sure you put this in before you put the hub back in, or you're going to have to press it back out and, you know, do this job all over again. So yeah, when you're pushing the hub in, make sure you support the center part underneath so you can push that hub in. And yeah, so I'm gonna get that done now, and yeah, bring you back. All right, so last but not least, the hub. Just gotta move it, make sure it goes in nicely. Until it bottoms out and you're good. So right there, I'm good. It's not going anymore. And yeah, that's done. So let's put this back on the car. So at this point, you could recommend an alignment, but if you can see, just because you took these bolts, I didn't remove anything that will affect alignment. These ones, if you can see, these don't move very much, maybe like very tiny bit, but you can't really adjust that part anyways. So so you don't really necessarily need an alignment, but you can recommend it if you want. All right, so just came back from a road test. They're definitely a lot quieter. I'm probably hearing noises that I probably couldn't hear before from before the wheel bearing noise. That's probably usually what a customer would say after they get their car back and like, oh yeah, the wheel bearing noise now, but I got another noise. But anyways, so customer opted to do a wheel alignment. Said that they just got brand new tires, so they want to do a wheel alignment. And yeah, I looked at the date code on their tires. It's 50 of 22, so last year, late December, so pretty recent. And yeah, so I'm going to do a wheel alignment, and then I'm going to show you what the reading is. See if they're, if it's in or out. I'll just take a picture of it. But yeah, I'm just going to do the alignment, and then show you what the results are. All right, so the alignment's all done. Yeah, I know, like, I also did the service on it, adjust the e-brakes. Yeah, adjust the e-brakes, a couple clicks. That's usually how I like to adjust them. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. And I think the next video might, hopefully, I got the Civic SIR, I got the cylinder head, but I found some damage in the cylinder head. So I think the customer's having second thoughts of fixing it now. And probably selling the car as is with the cylinder head off. But I was looking at like used motors for those Civic SIRs with the B16 in them, and they're like going for $7,500. It's like ridiculous money for them, so it's not cheap to get a used motor for that either. So we can get a cylinder head. It's just, it's gonna cost a little bit more, but it's still cheaper than a used motor. So yeah, see what happens maybe in the next coming up video, or next few videos, I guess. I don't know, see what's gonna happen.